I know that I have talked about this verse before. Hopefully I'm coming at it from a different angle today. I really don't like to take just a piece of a verse and just kind of get stuck on that, but it's kind of what happened today. I was reading in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, where it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Well, in reading that, I thought, okay, what is the perfect will of God? So I got out my list of scriptures. This time I used BibleGateway.com to find it. There are well over 300 scriptures that talk about the will of God. Some of them are relevant, some of them are not, and there is a furry rodent out front with a long fluffy tail that my dog just sees, so he loves to chase them, and he hasn't chased them in a long time. How's that for a rabbit trail? Okay, so looking for the perfect will of God. Well, 1 Thessalonians 4, 3 through 5 is the first thing that came up, and the thing that is in there is it talks about how we are to be sanctified. Well, that's a nice word. What does sanctification mean? It means to be set apart. It means to be holy or holiness. Well, that's something to stretch for, isn't it? To be holy and sanctified. So I got this whole list of scriptures here. I went through the Old Testament and the New Testament. What is God's perfect will? Well, Exodus 23:25 says it's his will to take sickness away from you. That's a pretty good thing right there. Deuteronomy 11:28 says he wants us to obey him. Reckon if we obey him, we might get some of the other things that are in the perfect will of God. Deuteronomy 28:1 says he wants to exalt us. He wants to lift us up. That's a pretty good promise there. Deuteronomy 30, verse 9, he wants us to prosper. Well, specifically in that verse, it's talking about how he'll, bless this part of your income and that part of your income and that part of your income. Prosperity is just a good way of shortening that. 1 Chronicles 28:20 says it's his will to be with you and not to fail you. There are various verses in the Old Testament that says it's his will that we give willingly to him. A little give and take here. He'll give to us, we give to him. Psalm 59:17 says this is his perfect will, right? To show us mercy. We need that mercy a lot. Isaiah 2:3 says he wants to teach us his ways. Well, that's good, because how are we going to know his ways if he doesn't teach us? I mean, yeah, we can listen to other people, but sometimes we just need him to teach us. Isaiah 41:10. Now, I've talked about that one. He wants to strengthen us, to help us, to uphold us. Jeremiah 11:4. It's his perfect will to be our God. Well, I don't know about you, but I want him to be my God, because he is the Almighty One, the perfect one, the one who knows everything, who can do everything. I mean, he created us. And if he created us, then it might be a good idea to follow the owner's manual, the Bible. Ezekiel 28:22 says he wants to be glorified. Well, I think for all the things that he does for us, it'd do us well to glorify him. Now we get into the New Testament. In Acts 2:7, it's his perfect will to pour out his Spirit upon everyone. The biblical word is upon all flesh, but pretty sure that means on us. In 2 Corinthians 6:16, again, it says he wants to be our God. In Galatians 1:4, he wants to deliver us from the present world. There's a lot in this present world that we need deliverance from, we need to avoid. In Colossians 4:12, he wants us to stand perfect and complete in his will. 1 Thessalonians 5:18, he wants us to give thanks to him in everything. Now, as I've spoken on before, that's not, we don't give thanks for everything. I'm not giving thanks for the pain in my body, but I will give thanks during the time that I have pain in my body, because I also know it's his perfect will to heal me. And 1 Peter 2:15, his will is for us to put to silence the ignorance of foolish men by doing well ourselves. Now that's not a complete list of God's perfect will. I'm sure if you did some research, you would find a lot of things that I didn't mention here. And that's good, because you should do some research on your own to find his perfect will. And you know, he has a perfect will specifically for you. He has a perfect will for what you're to do day to day. And to know that perfect will, well, you have to seek God. You have to talk to him. You have to pray. Look up, for your redemption draws nigh. Check in with him frequently and ask him, where do you want me to go today? What do you want me to do today? Who do you want me to talk to? Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable and pleasing in your sight, O Lord my God. Seek him and do his perfect will.